What is good, my Fat Grats? Pac-Man Case back with you guys. Thanks for joining me on another episode of 6 Essentials, the show where we give you 6 essential games for their respective consoles. This round, we're going with the Super Nintendo. Let's do it.
That's what I expected.
Oh my goodness, the Super Nintendo. I am somebody that absolutely loves this design. I feel like the color palette of the gray and purple, that is one of the coolest designs that I believe I've seen for Nintendo. Some people are more of a fan of the Super Famicom over in Japan, a lot more colorful on the console, but for me, the Super Nintendo was fantastic. This console, when it hit the market, had some of the coolest games. That 16-bit era just struck a chord with people in such a different way. Coming from the Nintendo, seeing these beautiful sprites, to this day, some of these games are ones that people will remember forever. Now, the Super Nintendo has lots of games in its library, but I believe that there is 6 essential games that you should have for this console. If you agree or disagree with me, it's what the comments below are for, so let me know. Let's get into the 6 essential games for this beast. Let's do it. Up first is Super Metroid. Now, I kid you not, the first time I ever played this game was only a couple weeks ago as of filming this video, and I fell in love with this game. Now, I already said these were not going to be my favorite games. The reason I believe Super Metroid should be in your collection is this really is the pinnacle of that Metroidvania craze. When people started to love that type of concept of platforming, various level design, the quadrant sections that you have to return to open up new items, to unlock new things. It is literally, I feel, the best one on a pedestal for what has been created. Not only power to the females of you getting Samus as a main character, Metroid is just such an amazing game. That sci-fi aesthetic, the music's fantastic, the graphics are absolutely supreme, but I seriously believe this needs to be in your collection. Super Metroid. Get it. Next up, baby. This next one up is really funny because I've never really been a huge Zeldies fan, but after getting into the Super Nintendo for this video, I have to put in Zelda: A Link to the Past. Now, in the Legend of Zelda series, the jump from the Nintendo over to the Super Nintendo was so iconic. The first time that you get to play, see this game in its environment, those 16-bit sprite graphics, you just gravitate to this game. It is fun, it is an easy pickup and play to understand what's going on. Link has some new movesets that actually makes it easier for you to explore and enjoy the game. Overall, the music's fantastic. This has to be one of those that gets picked up for the collection. The price still isn't too insane on this one, but I believe Link to the Past has to be in there. Good job, Zelda. You're in the first list and the second list. Damn. Next game. Now, when we think of Super Nintendo, we think of all of these amazing platformers, but I really feel like the console itself gets gypped over sports games. And we know on these lists, right? You hear sports title, you're like, it's really easy to throw it away, but we forget how many mainstream, how many casual gamers enjoy a good sports game. I'm not talking about football, and unfortunately, I'm not talking about NHL in this one, even though that one deserves an honorable mention. NHL 94, so good. Guys, this one I'm talking about Ken Griffey's Major League Baseball. This game was developed for the first time by Nintendo for an MLB game. It had such a deep roster. The graphics are awesome. They are like this crazy cool cartoony feel, but there is something so tight about the gameplay. Whether you're on offense, whether you're on defense, your ability to move around the field, how true it is to the stats of the players, and overall, the replayability of this game is one that needs to be in the Super Nintendo collection. I feel like a lot of people would skip over this one, but if you get a chance to pick up the Ken Griffey Jr.'s Major League Baseball, you will not be disappointed. This game is fun. It is not a sim. It feels way more like an arcade, and I feel like it is essential for the console. So, like I said, you don't like it? Fight me on it. Next one. So guys, this next one is totally out of left field for me. I am somebody that cannot speak very well to RPGs. I have never been a huge fan of RPGs, but when I think of the Super Nintendo, I do think of some of the greatest RPGs ever created. And I know a lot of people will agree with me. Now, one rises to the top that I don't actually have in my collection, and that would be Chrono Trigger. Chrono Trigger was such a fantastic RPG in so many people's eyes. It was an easy pick up and play. The story moves along. You don't find yourself in this incredible grind. You do have an opportunity sometimes to skip different encounters with enemies, which some people can find annoying on previous RPG games, as well as the ability to combine specials and super attacks with other players. It reminds me a lot of like Marvel Ultimate Alliance. When you switch out characters, you have an opportunity to like use different powers and techniques, which was almost unprecedented at the time. Not to mention, this game has a killer twist that most people would not assume would happen in a standard RPG. So, guys, not being an RPG fan, I highly recommend, out of 6 essential games for the Super Nintendo, if you're gonna invest your money in one RPG, get Chrono Trigger. You will not be disappointed. I'm not an RPG fan, and I can vouch that I enjoy that game. So, there you guys go. You're welcome. Next. All right, Pack Rats, number 5 was not easy. I am a fighting game fan through and through, and I so badly wanted to put Street Fighter on this list, but when I think of essentials, when I think of console sellers, when I think of the ability to experience something new, something fresh, something fun, the Super Nintendo gave us Killer Instinct. Replaying this game recently made me realize how hard the developers worked on something unique. There had been such a fighting game movement, these arcades being ported over to consoles. Killer Instinct came at us with such a fun character roster, this cool combo system. The graphics are incredible for its time, not to mention one of the best soundtracks I have ever heard in a fighting game, even to this day. I love Guilty Gear. I would say that it beat it, but at the time, Killer Instinct's soundtrack was epic. These characters are awesome. It had such a sweet twist with kind of the Street Fighter characters, little nods to them. It had these cool super combos, little nod to Mortal Kombat. But Killer Instinct really does wrap it all up in a nice bow and makes it an essential for the Super Nintendo. This one was the one I got with my Super Nintendo bundled in, which I was lucky that I got to experience this on day one of opening that Super Nintendo and enjoying it. So, be with me, number 5, Killer Instinct. Put it in your collection. Fighting games for days. You'll love it. Next. All right, friends, my last game is a platformer, and it is a platformer that I feel took it by storm. Now, I'm about to piss some people off because I am snubbing Mario once again. That's right, list number 1 for the NES and SNES doesn't have a Mario game on it. I'm sorry, but I think that this game is better than Mario, and that is Donkey Kong Country. Yes, this was a pack-in game, but oh my god, for a reason. Donkey Kong Country truly took platforming to another level. Not only graphically, the music to this day, you can put that on for almost anyone, and most of them are gonna be able to tell you that it came from Donkey Kong Country. You had a two-player mechanic where you could tag back and forth. There is something so intricate, unique, fun, challenging, exciting about the development of these levels. There is, to this day, nothing that I feel has really matched that feeling that we got playing Donkey Kong for the first time. The franchise after that went off into some cool directions with Diddy Kong and Dixie Kong, respectively 2 and 3, but Donkey Kong Country paved the way and still is the most essential platformer that you need for the Super Nintendo. Ooh, that's 6 essentials, and those are dang good. I mean, I don't even know if there's a better list. Well, of course there is. That's why we'll probably do a part 2. Pack Rats, so that is it. That is 6 essentials. Yes, there's only 5 games here because I don't have Chrono Trigger. I have it on my mini, so give me a break. I played it, I loved it, shut your mouths. There is my 5 plus 6 essential games for the Super Nintendo. Now, again, if you are upset, ranting, if you threw your controller at the screen, comment below, guys. Tell me what you think the 6 essential games for the Super Nintendo are. Again, not your favorite games, not the most popular games. What do you believe really rounds out the console and gives you that feeling that the Super Nintendo was a badass piece of machinery at the time? Guys, I appreciate you watching. If you like what I got going on, if you like my silly content, hit that subscription button, guys. Hit the notification bell so you know when I create new videos. I am convinced YouTube hates me and I need your guys' help. Up next, the Nintendo 64. Don't miss it. I'll see you guys then. Bye.